Childhood memories fade to black and white. Innocent play clashes with the sight of weeping adults, and the tight grip of holding hands eventually slips away. The nightmare begins. Without a word, her mother drags her sister away. Shinei stands frozen, toy in hand, haunted by one thought: did I do something wrong? Her father just sits there, head in hands, watching the family fall apart. He claims he was helpless, but Shinei's trust shatters as she walks away into the void. Was I a bad kid? The doubt festers. Her father promised they'd be happy again, but that empty vow rings hollow against the backdrop of their despair. Told to be strong, she forces herself to believe it will be okay. But when she looks up, the world stares back with nothing but cold indifference. The nightmare follows her to school. Faceless figures surround her, pointing and whispering. She just wanted friends, but is met with inexplicable hostility. Isolation turns into abuse. Her desk is covered in hateful graffiti like worthless and die. Shinei realizes with crushing clarity, she is not wanted here. She closes her eyes and chants "Stay strong" like a mantra. Even as their whispers cut like knives, she fights to keep her walls from crumbling. Watching everyone walk away turns the isolation into suffocation. She's exhausted, wondering how much longer she can hide the pain behind a mask of strength. She gives up on happiness. Sinking into the dark depths of her mind, she lowers her expectations to the bare minimum. Just existing without pain is enough. Cut to the present. An older Shinei wanders alone to a convenience store at night, her silhouette still radiating that familiar solitude. Under the bright fluorescent lights, she beelines for the instant noodles. Amidst the shells, she finally finds a moment of peace. Two girls nearby are chatting loudly, their laughter piercing the air. Shinei tries to ignore them, but she can feel their gaze shifting toward her. The insults fly instantly. They mock her outfit, loudly wondering if she shops at a pet store. Shinei clenches her jaw, old wounds reopening under the humiliation. They bet on her breaking down, but Shinei isn't that weak anymore. She shoots them a cold glare and stomps past them with defiant purpose. Stepping out of the store, she's greeted by pouring rain. A guy in a blue coat stands there, looking lost, as their paths briefly cross in the downpour. The night gets worse. A car speeds by, splashing water everywhere before screeching to a halt. Shinei jumps back, glaring at the driver in frustration. Standing at the rainy crosswalk, Shinei accepts her reality. Life keeps throwing punches, but she decides to just grit her teeth and keep moving forward. The light turns green, and the clouds part. Shinei takes a step into the light, hoping that maybe, just maybe, things will get better. The story begins. Shinei props her chin up, staring blankly with those distinctive red eyes. She convinces herself that eat, sleep, study is enough. A boring life is a safe life. As the teacher rants about the class's failure, Shinei's expression sours. She pulled an all-nighter for this, confident she'd score at least an 85%. A big red 68% slaps her in the face. Well, **T. Outside, her blue-haired friend Rika is fuming, screaming that she pulled all-nighters for nothing. There goes the scholarship. Shinei darkly jokes about becoming a stripper, but Rika shoots it down. Too many creeps, too much dieting, and frankly, she's too flat. The comment hits a nerve, triggering a nasty flashback of body-shaming bullies. Rika suggests the trophy wife route, find a rich guy and relax. Shinei shuts that down with a cold sneer. No way she's relying on a man. She'll carry her own weight. Tired of the argument, Shinei drops it and turns away. As lunch ends, Rika tries to smooth things over. Burgers after class? My treat. Shinei remains icy but listens. Free food? Shinei is instantly in. But when a friend jokes again about her becoming a housewife, Shinei erupts screaming. Not a chance! Loud enough to make the following class awkward and silent. Shinei crunches the numbers. Her part-time job won't cover tuition. The housewife comment lingers, but she violently rejects the idea her family's messy divorce left her with zero faith in marriage. The anxiety spirals into dark memories. A mother figure laughing with someone else. A father passed out amidst empty bottles. The trauma of a broken home feels suffocating. She shakes off the despair. Her eyes sharpen, shifting from exhaustion to a fierce, steely determination. She's not giving up without a fight. A blonde classmate glances back at her and turns beet red. Shinei, in no mood for games, shoots him a terrifying glare. "Boy, what you looking at?" Dieter actually drops to one knee, offering a flower in a heartfelt confession. Shinei doesn't even blink. "No!" She walks away cold, leaving him devastated on the ground. At the burger joint, the girls are horrified. Maya screams that Dieter was cute and German. Shinei is unmoved. Rejection is rejection. She'd rather have her cat than a boyfriend. A flashback reveals just how cold she was. While Dieter poured his heart out, Shinei stood there with crossed arms and a look of pure annoyance. Ordering time. While her friends get salads and water, Shinei's eyes light up as she orders the heart attack burger. The girl loves her food. While waiting for food, Maya shows off a mask for the upcoming Hirahara masquerade party. She invites Shinei, who immediately looks skeptical. Parties are definitely not her scene. Shinei starts to decline, but then Maya drops the magic words, "Free Wagyu steak and caviar." Shinei's resistance crumbles instantly. For free food, she'll go anywhere. Just as things look up, a loud group enters. It's Dieter and his friends. Shinei panics and hides her face. Of all the places, he had to come here. Dieter is moping nearby. His friends try to cheer him up, but one of them loudly calls the girl who rejected him a "Oh!" Shinei hears every word, and the mood turns ice cold. Boys gossip loudly, calling Shinei a pig and warning friends to stay away. She overhears everything, cold on the outside but stung by the insults. The conversation turns dark. A girl recounts a story of a bully who stole homework and threatened snitches, only to end up completely isolated. The malice escalates. Stay away from her friends too. Suddenly, the scene cuts to bodies on the floor and a red cup, hinting that words turned into violence. Shinei snaps. Defending her friends, she hurls her drink at the blonde guy. But as the adrenaline fades, regret instantly sets in. Owning her mistake, Shinei demands the soap jacket, promising to clean it. The guy hands it over hesitantly, the air thick with awkward tension. Cleaning is too slow. Frustrated, Shinei slams the table, startling everyone. She refuses to give up, but the stain is putting up a fight. The vibe gets too intense, so her friends bail. The victim is left trembling, terrified by Shinei's manic scrubbing. Cut to Yongjai, holding a suit and smirking. Hearing rumors of a crazy girl, he's suddenly actually looking forward to the party. Back home, Shinei reads romance comics with pure disgust. Her friends interrupt, rushing her to get ready for the party she dreads. Shinei fights for pants, so she can eat more, but her friends aren't having it. They forcibly shove her into a dress fashion over food capacity. They arrive at the mansion. The girls excitedly mask up, ready to party, while Shinei wears a look of pure dread, forced into the charade. They enter, and heads turn instantly. Shinei is confused, but it's her masque creepy, plain white slab that stands out like a sore thumb. The luxury is overwhelming. Shinei explains her dad's job got them in, but she feels tiny and defensive amidst the chandeliers and gold. Her friend drops a bomb. That suit she ruined costs 10 grand. Shinei nearly has a heart attack, shifting from awkwardness to financial panic. Friends want to dance. Shinei only wants the buffet. She refuses to move until she eats, but gets dragged onto the dance floor anyway. Hiding in a corner, she rips off the sweaty mask for a breather, only to be jump-scared by her friend. Can't a girl just be antisocial in peace? Nightmare scenario. Guys swarm her, grabbing and touching. She screams at them to back off, but gets shoved and hurt in the chaos. A guy in a red mask tries to help, but Shinei panics and bolts. Just as she's about to break down, she catches a scent. Salvation. Food. Jackpot. She sneaks into the empty banquet hall. Seeing the tiramisu, her mood does a 180. Forget the drama. It's time to feast. The foodie spots the very last tiramisu and lunges for it, only to trip on her heels and watch in horror as her prize goes flying. She freezes mid-charge, staring at the man's back. That hair, that posture, a bad feeling washes over her as recognition hits. It's Q-Tip. Not only does he have her cake, but he coldly mocks her outfit, causing her to explode with indignation. Turns out, the cake splattered all over his suit. Instead of apologizing, she smirks, admitting she aimed for her mouth but hit the asshole instead. Q-Tip loses his cool, screaming the price tag $10,000. Shanae freezes, the color draining from her face in pure shock. Having caused a disaster, she flees the ballroom to hide, stressing about the massive debt and her empty stomach while desperately trying to call her friend. Rika finally picks up, but is having too much fun to leave. Shanae lies about having eaten to avoid worry, even though she's starving. Before she can explain, Rika hangs up to scream over a celebrity sighting. Shanae stares at her phone, seething with frustration at being abandoned. While she's fuming, a masked redhead approaches. Mistaking his kindness for creepiness, she panics and bolts, with him chasing right behind her. After shaking him off, she cowers in a corner. Her phone rings again, and she answers, desperately hoping her friend is finally ready to go home. But they're just gossiping. Fed up, she snaps. Instead of hiding, she decides to channel her anger and confronts the stalker head-on. Cornered, the redhead surrenders. He admits to eavesdropping but swears he's not a bad guy, he just heard she wanted to leave and wants to help. She's skeptical. Why help? He shrugs, admitting he's bored out of his mind by the fake politics of the party and needs a distraction. He rants about the fake smiles, but she cuts him off, saying she couldn't care less about his status. Her bluntness surprises him, softening his gaze. Despite the moment, she walks away, done with him. But the guy is persistent, following her steps without hesitation. Unable to shake him, she stops and demands to know his plan. He smiles, offering to pay for her cab and proposing something else. How about we prank your friends as payback? Hearing this, her eyes light up. She grins mischievously. I'm in. Partners in crime now, he leads her towards the upstairs bar, whispering the details of their revenge plot against her friends. Shanae is annoyed at being ignored. But the redhead confidently presses a hand to his chest, swearing safety, and extends an invitation. Will you be my partner? The redhead grins, pitching a prank call. Shanae scoffs initially, but her competitive side kicks in. She accepts the challenge, officially joining his scheme. Deal sealed. Shanae yells, let's do this, and goes for a high five, but he leaves her hanging. Ignoring the awkwardness, they march toward the elevator. Calls go to voicemail, but he doesn't flinch. He leaves a message with a smirk. Yo, your friend is here with me. Shanae watches, frowning suspiciously. Acting time. Shanae feigns drunkenness while the redhead plays the creep on the phone. The performance gets so intense they almost start a real fight. The bartender interrupts, demanding IDs. The redhead calmly flashes his identification, but adds a special request, a sly glint in his green eyes. ID check passed? The redhead leans in, confessing to the bartender, actually, we're pranking her friends. Shanae stands by, wary of this stalker's influence. Shanae identifies her friends in a photo. The redhead finalizes the lie with the bartender, tell them she left with a guy. He spins the web of deception effortlessly. He calls a cab and excuses himself to the restroom. Left alone, Shanae starts to worry that their prank voicemail might have been too terrifying for her friends. Frustrated with her phone, Shanae gets bumped hard. A man in a purple and gold mask apologizes profusely, but his polite smile feels incredibly unsettling. The purple mask leaves. The redhead mutters to himself by the restroom, looking unwell. Meanwhile, a blonde guy corners Shanae, aggressively insisting on buying her a drink. The creep grabs her, trying to force her to his place. Shanae slams the table in panic. Suddenly, a hand seizes the guy. The redhead is back with backup. The masked duo scares the creep away. The redhead checks on Shanae, righteously complaining about guys who harass women, ignoring his own suspicious vibe. The redhead downs Shanae's juice, then gags, claiming it tastes weird. Shanae insists it's just orange juice. He wipes his mouth, trying to maintain his cool. The cab arrives. The redhead tries to pay but starts slurring words, swaying dangerously. Shanae stares, concerned. Are you okay? You look like you're gonna pass out. He clutches his head in pain. Thinking he's just being weird again, Shanae thanks him sarcastically and turns toward the cab, oblivious to his actual condition. The redhead is left behind, sweating profusely. Shanae settles into the cab, sighing with relief. She thinks she's finally free of the drama, ready to head home. The driver asks about her friend sleeping on the ground. Shanae looks back in horror to see the redhead face down on the pavement. Panic sets in instantly. Shanae spots her stalker passed out cold. Her instinct screams to run, but seeing him helpless triggers a battle between her desire for peace and her moral compass. She flags down a stranger for help, but his suggestion backfires. The moment he mentions taking the guy to her place, Shanae's walls go up. Absolutely no way is she dragging a stranger home. The guy is barely conscious, gasping for air, but still manages to beg no hospitals, no insurance. That financial desperation hits home for Shanae, freezing her in a moral deadlock. With no other choice, she drags his dead weight toward a cab. The driver, however, is pure scum, starting the meter before lifting a finger to help, leaving Shanae fuming on the curb. Meanwhile, back at the party, Maya and Rika are oblivious to the chaos. They're too busy obsessing over some guy's cheekbones, lost in their own world of ridiculous fangirling. The fun dies instantly when they realize their idol and their friend are gone. Checking their phones, a flood of missed calls from Shanae replaces their excitement with cold dread. Shanae's drunk, angry voicemail plays out, accusing them of abandonment. Maya tries to spin it as a learning experience, but the guilt is already eating them alive. They messed up bad. Desperate for leads, they corner the bartender. The moment they describe Shanae's murderous glare and dress, recognition flashes in his eyes. He knows exactly who they mean. The bartender drops a bomb. Shanae was chugging drinks and left with a guy. Unaware it was just juice, the friends are paralyzed by the terrifying thought of a drunk Shanae being taken advantage of. Back in the taxi, Shanae stares at the unconscious redhead, regretting every life choice. Her friends promised a fun party. Instead, she's stuck babysitting a comatose stranger in a moving vehicle. While adjusting him to prevent choking, Shanae catches, or rather, doesn't catch a scent. He doesn't smell like booze at all. If he's not drunk, then why is he out cold? Panic strikes as she connects the dots. He drank her orange juice. Is he allergic? Was it spiked? Suddenly, Shanae isn't just a helper. She feels like a prime suspect in a crime she didn't commit. Terrified that a wealthy family might sue her into oblivion, Shanae rifles through his pockets. She strikes gold a phone. Now she just needs to find someone, anyone, to take this liability off her hands. She dials Kusuk, expecting a worried relative, but gets an earful of screaming instead. Amidst the chaos on the other end, Shanae manages to yell the destination, Hirahara Hospital, before slamming the phone down. The phone dies mid-sentence, leaving Shanae praying the message got through. On the other end, Kusuk freezes. The anger vanishes, replaced by a cold, sharp realization that his brother is actually in trouble. The atmosphere in the restaurant shifts instantly. Kusuk crushes his dessert fork, his blue eyes burning with a mix of fury and worry. "Null, you idiot," implies this is the last straw. They arrive at the massive hospital, but the awe is short-lived. The driver demands $50, and Shanae's jaw drops. She's broke, tired, and now apparently being robbed by a taxi meter. Stranded outside, Shanae leaves a guilt-tripping voicemail for her friends. Seeing a nurse approach, she quickly switches masks, acting the concerned citizen while internally plotting her escape from this mess. The nurse innocently pulls out an orange to ask about allergies, but it triggers a nuclear reaction. Shanae screams like she's seen a ghost and slaps the fruit out of the nurse's hand, causing a scene of absolute chaos. Shanae screams that she smacked the orange away because she thought the guy was allergic. But then it clicks, he didn't pass out from allergies. His drink was spiked. Flashback to the party. Shanae was actually warning her friends to watch their drinks. Back in the present, that mysterious redhead creeps up beside her. Shanae screams for the shadower to show himself. She catches a glimpse of his face and freezes, her red eyes widen in shock. She knows him. Meanwhile, the friends are spiraling. They're imagining Shanae skinned and dumped in a ditch somewhere. The guy with them is absolutely done with their drama. He finally snaps. He yells at the girls for ignoring Shanae when she just wanted to go home. They look down in shame, admitting they forced her to stay. A text comes in. Shanae is alive. They breathe a sigh of relief before reading the rest. I'm at the hospital. Panic mode instantly reactivated. Shanae sits alone outside the hospital, exhausted. She's annoyed her friends are late and racked with guilt for ruining that nice guy's expensive suit. Wait a second. Why was that creep so nice to her? Offering money? Her expression darkens. She convinces herself it was all a setup. The creep actually planned to follow her cab home to harass her. Shanae sits on the bench, connecting the dots and realizing she dodged a bullet. She overhears the staff discussing Yongji being drugged. Shanae's eyes narrow ominously. She was right about the spiked drink all along. Shanae hates hospitals. Inside, the mood is suffocating. A man slumps over Yongji's hospital bed, looking completely devastated. Finally, her phone lights up with a call from Rika. Shanae's eyes flash red with a mix of relief and annoyance. About damn time. Her friends are screaming incoherently. Shanae tells them to calm down, drops her location, and finally relaxes. Rescue is on the way. Just as she closes her eyes, a nurse directs someone to the patient's room right in front of her. Shanae's eyes pop open. Trouble is literally steps away. Shanae freezes. It's Q-Tip, the stuck-up guy from the party. She screams internally, of all people, why did it have to be him? He acts like he doesn't know her, which confuses Shanae. But then he points to the steak stain on his suit. Oh, he remembers. He's just being a jerk. The guys start arguing with each other. Shanae tries to sneak away while they're distracted, but hits a literal wall. There's no exit. Cornered, Shanae contorts her face into a hideous underbite and uses a bizarre voice. The guys are visibly disgusted, wondering what's wrong with her. She thinks she's safe, but the guy spots her cheap outfit. The jig is up. He yells, "You're the fat ass from the party," and Shanae completely loses it. Chaos erupts as Shanae hurls her heels at the men to escape. While the suit guy screams in rage, a co-worker realizes with horror she just attacked the owner's son. A frantic chase tears through the hallway. A nurse lunges but faceplants, while Shanae keeps running, terrified for her job. But security is already coordinating to cut off her escape. Captured and strapped to a wheelchair, Shanae screams in protest. Kusuk arrives, shocked by the restraints, while Shanae boldly claims the nurse's injury was his own fault. Kusuk dismisses the staff but corners Shanae, rudely calling her Batas. She snaps back, demanding his name, but he coldly refuses to answer, the air thick with hostility. Shanae gives her name but plays dumb when asked about the redhead. She feigns ignorance, deliberately butchering Yongji's name and blaming the mess on him drinking her juice. With Yongji unconscious, Kusuk relentlessly drills her for details about the masked man. Exhausted and cornered, Shanae struggles to recall anything while pleading to be released. Kusuk leans in dangerously close, commanding her not to lie. Panic-stricken, Shanae mentions the taxi driver. Kusuk sighs in relief. No ambulance means his father won't find out. Maya and Rika burst into the hospital, frantically screaming for their friend. Amidst the commotion, they spot Shanae standing there, looking dazed and traumatized. The girls rush over in relief, but the mood shifts when Shanae notices Maya's bandaged foot. Guilt washes over her as she stammers, promising she can explain everything. It turns out Maya didn't come quietly, she knocked out the creeping guy with a savage punch. Rika cheers her on as they leave the guy dazed and spinning. The man tries to argue, but Maya raises a fist, staring him down with pure ferocity. Realizing he's outmatched, he grits his teeth and furiously screams at them to get out. The defeated man sits on the floor, making excuses about being caught off guard. His partner mocks him for losing to high school girls, but confirms that Shanae kept her mouth shut. Kusuk issues a stern warning. Total silence is required. If their father finds out his brother is hospitalized, the consequences for everyone involved will be severe. Safe at a diner, Shanae inhales 2 burgers like a starving animal. Her friends watch in disbelief as she aggressively stress eats, complaining about being ditched at the party. Between bites, Shanae lays down the law. No more parties, ever. Her friends agree. She smiles, satisfied. Before her expression sharpens, she knows they're hiding something. Maya launches into a dramatic, teasing fantasy about Shanae and the redhead, dubbing it the Orange of Fate. She cackles over couple names, driving Shanae crazy. Shanae coldly shuts down the romance talk, telling them to keep dreaming. Their bickering is cut short when the exhausted staff finally kicks them out for staying past closing. As her friends drive off, silence returns. Shanae walks alone in the pre-dawn chill. Checking her phone at 5 a.m., she shivers, realizing how long this night has been. Shanae sneaks home, anxious about her dad waking up. The scene cuts to a hospital room, where a man in a suit smiles cryptically, asking if this outcome was what was desired. In the dim hospital room, Kusuk refuses to leave his unconscious brother's side. Ignoring the other man, he stands firm, determined to keep watch whether Yongji likes it or not. Yongji wakes up to a splitting headache and a bombshell from Soshir. He was roofied at the party, but the scariest part? He wasn't even the intended target. Yongji panics, asking about the crazy girl. Suddenly, Kusuk interrupts from the doorway, his voice icy and expressionless. She's already gone, safe and sound. In the bathroom, the usually cheerful Soshir stares at his reflection, exhausted and guilt-ridden. The chaotic night dragged out a side of him he clearly despises. Physically and mentally drained, Soshir slumps onto his bed. He closes his eyes, desperate for this nightmare to end and for normalcy to return by morning. Meanwhile, Yongji jolts awake from a nightmare. Agitated, he snaps at the handler in the room, his hatred for the name Nal boiling over instantly. It's a cover-up orchestrated by Kusuk. To protect the family image, he silences the staff and coldly orders his injured brother to leave before anyone notices. Yongji dresses over his bruised torso, wincing in pain. When Kusuk offers a sliver of concern, Yongji shuts him down. He's endured far worse than this. Kusuk hands him painkillers, and despite his blatant distrust, Yongji swallows them. The side effects hit instantly, making him gag a bitter pill from a bitter brother. In the elevator, the mood shifts. Yongji holds the creepy mask, grinning that he's giving it to Dieter because Dieter has a crush on its owner, Shanae. His friend is bewildered. Yongji gleefully lists Shanae's chaotic resume, ruining a designer suit, throwing shoes, and flipping off Kusuk. She's not sweet. She's a walking disaster, and he loves it. Kusuk unexpectedly admits she wasn't that bad. Yongji's smile vanishes instantly. He rips the mask off, his expression darkening into a cold, jealous sneer. Back to reality. 6:37 a.m. Shanae wakes up on her birthday, not to celebration, but to exhaustion and the dread of another monotonous daily routine. The kitchen fills with the sizzle of eggs and oatmeal. She cooks mechanically, her eyes empty, highlighting the crushing loneliness of her everyday life. Just as she worries about her missing dad, the door opens. Her father walks in, exhausted, and Shanae's face instantly lights up with relief and joy. They settle into domestic small talk. While unpacking groceries, Shanae sheepishly admits her bad chemistry grades, but highlights her English, trying to be the perfect daughter. Learning her dad hasn't eaten all day, Shanae immediately pushes her own breakfast to him, lying that she'll grab food out. Her selflessness is heartbreaking. Her dad insists she take his wallet for a treat and reminds her to bundle up. This tender, protective moment is the only warmth in her cold reality. Bad luck, her usual bakery is closed. She wanders into a fancy cafe, drooling over the donuts until the price tag hits her like a splash of cold water. $6 for 2 donuts? Shanae pays with a grimace. Behind her, a blond guy orders specific German bread. Wait, is that Dieter standing right there? Just as she relaxes for a donut, someone yells Dieter. Nearby. Shanae freezes, instantly talk about bad luck. Recognizing the hospital guy immediately, Shanae panics, grabs her stuff, and prepares to bolt, abandoning her snack time. Not just Dieter, but Q-Tip is there too. Cold sweat runs down her back. She's walked straight into the lion's den. While the group distracts themselves discussing food, Shanae sneaks out the door, thinking she's made a clean getaway. Safe behind a pillar, she sighs in relief until a red head pops up. Shanae screams in terror, "Mr. Stalker!" Yongji beams with a bright smile, completely unfazed by her horror, treating this like a delightful reunion. Shanae plays dumb to flee, but he catches her wrist instantly. For a jokester, his grip is terrifyingly strong. Connecting the dots, Shanae realizes they all know each other. Then Yongji mentions payment, and dread sinks in. Hearing payment, Shanae spirals into a kidney-selling nightmare, screaming so loud Yongji has to cover his ears. He complains about the noise, which only fuels her rage. She screams louder right in his face, pure petty defiance. As staff approaches, Yongji stuffs her hat in her mouth to shut her up, apologizes, and reveals the twist: he owes her money. Misunderstanding cleared, they high-five over pranks. But Shanae's gaze sharpens. She senses a trap in his words. She admits hiding from Dieter and Q-Tip. Yongji puts on her hat, blocks the exit, and smirks. She's trapped. Forced into the ladies' room, she finds it's a windowless dead end. With the redhead guarding the door, she's hopeless. Yongji dangles her donut as leverage. For the sake of food and freedom, Shanae has to entertain his deal. His price? Friendship. Shanae reluctantly agrees to consider it just to escape, but Yongji takes it as a done deal. The disguise is a marker mustache drawn on her face. Shanae stares in horror, ready to strangle her new friend. Shanae snatches the marker back. If she's going down, she's taking him with her. Revenge mode activated. She writes stupid on his forehead, only to realize it's permanent marker. After mutual destruction, guilt trips him into helping. Learning she's hiding due to the stake incident, Yongji connects the dots and agrees to recruit Soshir to distract his scary brother. Shanae tells the persistent redhead to wait, visibly annoyed. She can't believe he's still trying to be friends, after everything. Cut to the sunny outdoor cafe. Yongji calls his friends over, but the vibe is strangely tense. Soshir explains the stupid scribbled on his face he got bored without his phone and decided to doodle on himself. Dieter is a nervous wreck, terrified of running into someone, complaining that Yongji always attracts trouble. Speak of the devil. Soshir spots the shoe-throwing girl hiding in the bathroom and drags a terrified Dieter along. Shanae peeks out and panics. They're pointing right at her. Her cover is blown. She tries to retreat into the restroom, but the cleaner kicks her out because it's closed for cleaning. Just her luck. She runs straight into Yongji. He tries to help her hide from his friends, but it's too late. They've arrived. Maximum awkwardness. Dieter sweats buckets seeing her. Shanae looks ready to kill, and Soshir just makes it worse. Yongji points out that Shanae's harshness hurt Dieter's feelings. She acts tough but feels a twinge of guilt. When she mentions losing friendship points, Yongji instantly turns into a happy child, thrilled at the chance to earn them back. Her stomach growls loudly. Yongji invites her to breakfast, using her past donut theft as leverage when she tries to refuse. Shinee argues it's better to be cold so people hate her and leave, but Yongji isn't buying her isolationist philosophy. Yongji flips the script and suddenly offers her his phone number. Shinee is completely blindsided. He explains he just wanted to give her someone to talk to, pointing out that she hesitated, meaning she's not as cold as she acts. He warns her she'll break if she bottles it up. She shoots back coldly. "I'm used to misfortune. I won't break. I won't let that happen," he declares gently before backing off. Shinee clenches her fist, clearly shaken by his kindness. Yongji is totally crushed, burying his face in the table. His friend tries to apologize, but Yongji puts on a mask, pretending he's just hungry to hide the pain. Meanwhile, Kusuk notices the pile of food and gets suspicious. His eyes go cold as he marches over, demanding to know what these two are hiding from him. Turns out Shinee ditched them. Kusuk thinks it's for the best, warning Dieter that girls get jealous, and he shouldn't upset his actual girlfriend. Dieter tries to explain, but gets shut down. Cut to outside. Shinee tries to sneak away, but luck isn't on her side. Dieter looks up from his phone, their eyes lock, and the air instantly freezes. Shinee bolts in panic but trips and begs for mercy, thinking she's about to be attacked. Dieter just stands there confused, thinking, "I just wanted to talk, why are you kneeling?" Misunderstanding cleared, Dieter offers her makeup remover. Shinee looks up and her jaw drops. This quiet kid is driving a red sports car that costs more than her house. He hands her the woman repellent spray and thanks her sincerely. Shinee cleans her face, totally confused. Aren't these rich guys supposed to be jerks? This one is acting nice. Surprised twist, Dieter waives the debt for the ruined suit and apologizes for his earlier outburst. Shinee stands there stunned. Did her massive debt just vanish into thin air? Dieter leaves his card and drives off. Shinee is left clutching it, wondering if she just met an angelic clone. Then reality hits. Crap, she forgot the groceries. Shinee grabs some frozen burgers, trying to relax, but her phone buzzes aggressively. It's her bestie Maya, finally awake and calling back. Maya's bakery is in chaos, so Shinee rushes over to help. Maya is so grateful she immediately bribes her with a cupcake. Work done, Maya mysteriously pulls out a box sent by her brother, Minhyuk, from the US. Shinee's eyes light up instantly. Shinee gets a bracelet, while Maya gets a pizza charm. They stare at photos of Chicago deep dish pizza, practically drooling on the table. Shinee rocks her new headband, feeling great. Maya suggests video calling her brother right now, and the energy in the room spikes with excitement. The call connects. Minhyuk looks half asleep, but the moment he sees his favorite duo, he beams with joy. You can feel the warmth through the screen. Chapter 15 starts with the call still going. Shinee and Minhyuk act like total dorks, while Maya cringes hard at their childish antics. Shinee is unstoppable, teasing Maya about being jealous of her bond with Minhyuk. He laughs it off and asks for the latest news from their side of the planet. Shinee mentions a weird redhead who insists on being friends. Maya realizes he keeps popping up and immediately screams, "It's destiny!" Shinee thinks the guy is a weirdo for bribing her with food. Minhyuk goes full sarcastic mode, listing all her flaws and wondering why anyone would want to be her friend. On the screen, Minhyuk lectures her to accept the rich kid's friendship. Shinee rolls her eyes, cynical as ever, accusing her brother of only siding with the guy because he thinks he's hot. Maya leans in, desperate to know if she got the number. Shinee admits she flat out rejected him. Maya gasps in horror, unable to believe her friend just pushed away a golden opportunity. Minhyuk suddenly feels guilty for his harshness and suggests the girls hang out with them. Then he drops a bomb. The German guy actually liked him, instantly turning the conversation incredibly awkward. Shinee pulls out the business card. The moment Maya sees the name Hirahara, she screams. Shinei didn't just tackle a nobody. She messed with the heir to the conglomerate that owns everything. While Shinei heads to the restroom, Maya stares at her jacket with a mischievous, creepy grin. Her eyes light up with a scheme she's definitely up to no good. With the target gone, the heist begins. Minhyuk cheers from the screen as Maya snatches the phone to make a prank call, but she hits a wall immediately. Password protection. Minhyuk suggests the obvious. Try her favorite pizza place's number. Click. It unlocks instantly. Maya smirks at how predictable her friend is, and gets ready to dial the rich guy. Meanwhile, Kusuk is strictly business. He drives his sports car, managing his schedule, and worrying about changing his suit for a meeting, completely unaware that chaos is about to ring his phone. Kusuk steps out of the elevator only to be ambushed. Meg pops out, screaming that she finally found him. His expression instantly drops from serious to purely annoyed. Meg tries to act cute, but Kusuk snaps. He yells at her for drunkenly clinging to him and stealing his cake at the party, demanding she leave him alone immediately. Meg ignores his rage and persistently tries to set up a date for Saturday. Kusuk is busy shutting her down when his phone vibrates. He guards it like a weapon, refusing to let her touch it. It's an unknown number. Kusuk stares at the screen suspiciously while Meg hovers over his shoulder. The tension spikes as he hesitates to answer the mysterious call. It's actually ringing. Maya instantly panics, clutching the phone and screaming at her brother for help. The prank just got real, and she has 0 lines prepared. Kusuk answers professionally. Maya stammers, lying through her teeth that she's Shinei. Kusuk buys it, waiting for a reason, while Maya internally screams, realizing she has no plan. Under extreme pressure, Maya's brain short-circuits. Instead of a prank, she blurts out, "Let's meet up." Kusuk freezes, eyes wide, completely blindsided by the sudden, bold proposal. Time stops. Kusuk stares at the phone, repeating the words in disbelief. On the other end, Maya doubles down. The prank has officially backfired into a binding agreement. The deal is sealed. Kusuk surprisingly agrees to Saturday. Maya, still posing as Shinei, frantically checks the schedule, unknowingly locking her friend into a date with a man she offended. Maya suggests the mall. Kusuk agrees but drops a strict condition. She must bring the redhead brother along. It's no longer just a date. It's a calculated summons. Call ended. Maya collapses in laughter at the chaos she caused. Minhyuk realizes she just set Shinei up on a nightmare double date, but decides to let it slide. It's the perfect payback for yesterday's prank. Kusuk realizes the prank was actually the redhead's idea. Meanwhile, Maya catches him on a suspicious call, and her radar goes off. Meg tries to corner him for a date, but Kusuk loses it when she mentions his assistant. He slams the door right in her face. Cold as ice, Kusuk walks away. Meg is left screaming in the hallway, wondering how 2 brothers can be so different. Meg's mood flips instantly when her sister calls. She's super sweet on the phone, but deletes the log immediately, hiding something from Shinei. Maya is plotting some revenge with her brother on video call. Shinei walks in like a zombie for food, scaring the life out of Maya. Maya quickly changes the subject and invites Shinei to the mall. Shinei feels something is off, but agrees to go anyway. Once Shinei is gone, Maya goes back to her brother. She doesn't get why he's so worried about this setup. Her brother is actually worried about that redhead guy. He bribes Maya to spy on the date just in case things go wrong. Back at the office, Assistant Jace makes sure the coast is clear before calling Kusuk to a serious board meeting. They spot a blonde guy lurking outside at Sangchul, a rival heir. Jace isn't impressed by his presence at all. The 2 heirs finally meet. Sangchul is full of fake smiles, throwing little jabs about Kusuk's partying habits. Sangchul drops a hint that he was up to no good that night. Meanwhile, Shinei is outside, sneaking a snack to a stray cat. She treats the cat to salmon, smugly bragging about how she dodged the massive debt for those ruined suits. Her math scores are great, but English is a disaster. She heads home to study, calling out for her dad, but gets no answer. The apartment is empty, littered with beer bottles. She sinks onto the couch to call him, looking small and lonely. Dad is working late again. She puts on a brave face for him, but hangs up feeling heavy, left alone with just the cat. The silence brings back bad memories. Dark voices from the past echo in her head, reminding her why she avoids people. She curls up in bed, tears falling as those cruel words replay in her mind. The trauma is still haunting her. Just as she's drowning in the past, her phone pings. It's the girls waiting at the mall. She completely forgot about the date. Null wakes up in a messy room, the clock ticking relentlessly. After staring at the ceiling, he finally gathers the nerve to dial Alyssa's number. Straight to voicemail. Null grips his head in despair, and then crash. The room shakes as his frustration explodes into physical chaos. He relentlessly hammers his fists against the wall, putting all his rage into every punch, not stopping until his lungs burn and his body gives out. Nana checks on him through the door, and Null instantly masks his pain. Hearing his brother is visiting but refusing food, Null scoffs typical behavior. Null storms out to find his brother, Kusuk, on the couch. Arms crossed, he confronts him head-on. "Stop using Nana as a messenger and stop avoiding me." Tension fills the room. Null suspects he's a spy for their father, but Kusuk insists he's just visiting, then coldly asks how long Null has been out of rehab. The question hits a nerve. Changing the subject, Kusuk reveals he has a meeting with Shinei at the coffee shop and she specifically asked for Null to be there. Null gleefully reveals the prank. He set Shinei up on a blind date with his own icy brother. His friend freaks out just as the target arrives. A creepy masked guy approaches Shinei. Just as she tries to shoo him away, he unmasks it's the insufferable Q-tip, Kusuk himself. Kusuk shows the call log, and Shinei realizes her friend pranked them. Despite the mix-up, Kusuk insists on ordering food, maintaining perfect gentlemanly etiquette. The elite businessman suddenly waxes poetic about cheesecake. Shinei stares at the dessert, her weird expression making Kusuk think she hates it. Kusuk cuts the small talk and demands to know why she asked for Null. Shinei panics internally, cursing her friend for landing her in this mess. Shinei confesses her friend impersonated her and apologizes profusely. Kusuk claims it's fine, but his eyes remain icy cold, making the air thick with tension. Since they're already there, Kusuk stays. He mentions his little brother's interest in her, and Shinei is floored to learn he and the redhead are related. Shinei can't believe it, they look nothing alike. Seeing her confusion, Kusuk gets suspicious and drills her on how she met his brother. Under his interrogation, Shinei sweats nervously and tries to escape into her cake. Kusuk watches her brazen eating habits with silent judgment. Kusuk puts on sunglasses and watches her inhale the food. He offers another slice, and Shinei denies liking it despite practically licking the plate. When Kusuk points out the cream on her face, Shinei snaps back defensively, claiming she's perfectly healthy and maybe she wanted to mess there. Shinei makes a goofy cream mustache, pushing Kusuk to his limit. He throws his handkerchief right at her face splat and orders her to clean up. Just as Shinei thinks any sane guy would have bailed, the door slams open. It's Yongji. She mentally screams, desperate for her quiet life back, while he just grins and waves like nothing's wrong. Cut to the most awkward table ever. Kusuk immediately starts roasting his brother, claiming mirrors break before Yongji can even see himself. Shinei sits there, stone-faced and wishing she could disappear. Kusuk mockingly offers tea, knowing Yongji hates it. He then digs deeper, asking if a lack of potatoes caused Yongji's bad mood. The sarcasm is thick enough to cut with a knife. As the sibling rivalry heats up, the awkwardness peaks. Shinei decides she's had absolutely enough, suggests they work it out alone, and tries to excuse herself from this disaster. Yongji tries to bail too, but Shinei panics and grabs his wrist. She begs him not to leave her alone with his terrifying brother, desperation written all over her face. Yang Ji sits back down and comes clean. He reveals that her friends set them up, tricking both of them into this meeting. It's not a date, it's a trap. Shinei awkwardly admits her friends are behind it. Kusuk points out that Yang Ji is still holding her hand, sending Shinei into a panic about her dry skin rather than the romantic tension. Shinei tries to pay him back for the meal, not wanting to owe him anything. Yang Ji refuses to take the money, insisting it was his treat, but she's stubborn about boundaries. Yang Ji tries to give her a wad of cash as an apology for the trouble. Shinei refuses and awkwardly apologizes, worried that he might have actually expected a real date. Shinei apologizes one last time and gets out of there. Walking down the street, she sighs in relief, mentally noting that the less she deals with people, the better. Back at the cafe, the bystanders are gossiping about the drama. Kusuk sits there with a cold stare, the tension at the table thick enough to clear the room. Kusuk scolds Yang Ji for scaring Shinei off. Yang Ji snaps back, mocking Kusuk's mask, which turns out to be a disguise to hide from a clingy admirer named Meg. Kusuk abruptly leaves to avoid more drama. Yang Ji is left sitting there, watching his brother walk away, completely baffled by his behavior. Suddenly, a woman in purple lunges at Kusuk and splashes her drink right in his face. She screams that he bullied her daughter, leaving Kusuk soaked and furious. Kusuk is fuming, pulling at his soaked mask. His expensive sweater is ruined, and he can't believe the sheer audacity of the woman. It turns out a lost little girl caused the chaos. Shinei comforts the trembling child, reassuring her that the angry woman is gone, while dealing with the mess on her own shirt. Yang Ji asks what happened. The little girl pipes up, revealing that Shinei took the hit to protect her from the angry mother. Shinei sweats, wishing the kid would just stay quiet. Yang Ji grins, impressed by Shinei's secret kindness. He crouches down to talk to the little girl, Soy, and finds out she's separated from her sister and scared. They decide to help. Yang Ji encourages the girl to be brave, while Shinei jokes that she'll scare off any mean people. The unlikely trio sets off on a rescue mission. The scene cuts abruptly to a gray memory. Little Shinei sits alone on the stairs, clutching melting ice cream. Her dad crouches before her, face full of guilt, trying to soothe her wounded soul. Little Shinei cries her heart out, demanding to know why she can't see her sister. Is she a bad girl? Every question pierces her father's heart, leaving him speechless. Seeing her breakdown, Dad pulls her into a tight embrace. He trembles as he swears he'll never leave, gently begging her to stay strong, a father's final promise in a broken home. The pain of the memory lingers as the scene snaps back to reality. Shinei, in her orange hoodie, stands in the mall, her thoughts interrupted by the redhead Yang Ji. They are helping a lost kid find her sister. As they strategize, Shinei looks up, locking eyes with a security camera. Since they can't find the sister, why not use the mall's eye? She has a plan. It worked like a charm. Upon hearing the broadcast, the frantic sister rushes over, hugging her lost sibling and stammering out gratitude to her two saviors, Shinei and Yang Ji. Feeling indebted, the sister insists on giving them a movie gift certificate. Shinei tries to decline, but the woman is too enthusiastic to take no for an answer. The sister grins, assuming they're a couple on a date. Yang Ji waves his hands frantically, while Shinei coldly shuts it down. Don't get the wrong idea. We aren't even friends. Misunderstanding cleared, the mood lightens. Turns out the sister is a store manager, and she happily promises future discounts. Yang Ji is pleased with the connection, though Shinei remains unfazed. Mission accomplished, Shinei turns and walks away, not wanting to linger. But Yang Ji isn't letting her go that easily. He chases after the Ice Queen, determined to keep talking. Shinei firmly states she's going home, leaving Yang Ji standing alone in the busy mall corridor. Watching her leave, his playful smile vanishes instantly, replaced by a look of loneliness. But the redhead catches up again. He shamelessly asks to hang out, even using his friend as an excuse. Shinei rolls her eyes, internally screaming, Why won't this guy just let it go? Shinei finally snaps, asking what his deal is. Yongji drops the jokes, his eyes turning serious as he admits that while it started for a friend, he actually wants to be friends with her himself. Just as the mood shifts, Yongji's phone rings. It's his girlfriend. Immediately after, the mall PA booms, summoning Miss Shinei to security. Instant panic. Shinei freezes, terrified that the drink spilling incident has caught up with her. Yongji hangs up, looking at the panic-stricken Shinei with genuine concern. Shinei feels doomed, but Yongji refuses to let her face it alone, insisting on tagging along. Together, they brace themselves and walk into the security office like it's an execution. The door opens, and it's that troublesome lady. Shinei thinks it's over, but Yongji steps up, loudly demanding to know the grounds for the accusation, showing some serious protective instinct. But then, a massive plot twist. Security isn't arresting Shinei. Instead, they point at the lady and ask Shinei, "Do you want to press charges?" Shinei is completely bewildered. Turns out the cameras caught the lady assaulting her. The arrogant woman instantly flips a switch, clasping her hands and begging for forgiveness with a sickeningly fake smile. The serious brother scoffs but softens when his brother apologizes and thanks him. He accepts it coolly, saying no hard feelings. The redhead smiles warmly, realizing why his friend likes this guy. He's actually decent. Despite his annoyance, the older brother decides not to press charges for the sake of the lady's daughter. The redhead appreciates the mercy, but his attention suddenly shifts. He spots Shinei and calls out to her. An officer hands over a mysterious black box, leaving the serious brother confused. The redhead shrugs, claiming he was just told to deliver it. The cop leaves them alone with the package, fueling the mystery. Unbeknownst to the pair below, a masked figure watches them from the upper level. The tension breaks as the scene shifts to the author's credits and a quirky cartoon avatar. Shinei holds the gift box but refuses to open it there. To settle the score, she hands a gift certificate to the redhead, her expression cold and eager to end this awkward interaction. The redhead tries to decline, but Shinei insists he take the certificate to avoid waste. Then, with a stiff expression, she reluctantly pulls out her phone and hands it to him, making a rare compromise. Shinei squeezes her eyes shut, forcing herself to exchange numbers. Watching from afar, her friend freaks out, unable to believe the antisocial girl is actually socializing with a guy. The mood shifts as the blue-haired guy brings up their past-failed revenge date. Maya tries to calm him down, reminding him of the promise they made to her brother, silencing his complaints. Holding the patchwork shirt, he reflects on the incident. He realizes the redhead went overboard but acted out of kindness. His harsh judgment wavers, replaced by a sense of conflict. Shinei opens the package and finds a hidden blue box underneath the clothes. Her surprise turns into a smug snicker. She's definitely found something she likes. While the other girls gossip excitedly about a celebrity, Shinei sits alone, looking bored. She stares at Yongji and her contacts, looking conflicted and annoyed. The girls keep chattering, ignoring Dieter, who just wants a seat. Shinei, fed up with the noise, coldly orders them to move and gives up her spot, sighing in frustration. Suddenly, Shinei clutches her stomach in agony. The leftovers were bad. She screams about her impending explosive diarrhea with zero shame, leaving the other girls disgusted and horrified. Seeing Dieter has no lunch, Shinei awkwardly insists on sharing her food. Dieter tries to decline, but she aggressively forces some pineapple slices on him until he accepts. Shinei finally clears the air, apologizing and explaining she's not interested in dating, but wants to be acquaintances. Dieter takes the rejection gracefully, only asking if the redhead put her up to this. They bond over how annoying the redhead can be. Dieter warns that the guy never gives up, and Shinei rolls her eyes, remembering how he forced his number on her. Meanwhile, the redhead is surrounded by friends at school. They ask him to go to the movies, but he looks distracted and deep in thought, barely registering their presence. He initially refuses, saying he hates that movie. But when his friends explain, They're watching it ironically because it's so bad, he instantly changes his mind and cheerfully agrees to join. Yongji can't stand the classroom air and excuses himself. He politely smiles away the clingy classmates, but the moment he leaves, the whispers turn into judgment. The jealousy turns toxic. They trash him for his rich dad and fake entry. But when the rumors touch on his scar and the forbidden truth, the voices drop to a hushed, eerie whisper. The world splits in two. In the shadows, Yongji stands alone, suffocating in isolation. Meanwhile, Shinei is miles away in a cartoonish daydream, zoned out on a giant cookie. The contrast hits hard.